What time do you usually take your morning shower? 6 o'clock? 7? Or maybe even earlier? Just as the first rays of sunlight peek through the window, the house still quiet, and you feel a sense of calm cleanliness rising from within. For many older adults, especially after retirement, an early morning shower becomes more than just a routine. It's a peaceful ritual that marks the beginning of a new day. A warm cup of tea, a soft tune playing in the background, and a gentle wash before stepping out into the garden or calling to check in on the grandkids. It's a beautiful habit, simple, independent, and quietly filled with self-respect. But what if this very habit, something we consider harmless, even beneficial, was silently putting our bodies at risk? That's exactly what happened to Stanley Peterson, a 75-year-old man living in a quiet suburb near Boston. Stanley had no underlying health issues. He lived independently, kept up with regular doctor visits, and despite living alone, never once said he felt lonely. He enjoyed afternoon walks, still read the newspaper instead of scrolling through a phone, and lived the kind of life that made people say, "That man's going to live a long, healthy life." And yet, one morning, his daughter Jennifer, who usually visited him every weekend, received a devastating call from the police. Stanley had been found collapsed in his bathroom. The water was still running. No one had heard him call for help. For Jennifer, the world felt like it stopped spinning. Her father, a careful, optimistic man, couldn't have just disappeared like that. But it happened, and what hurt the most was knowing it could have been prevented. If only he hadn't taken a shower during the most dangerous time of day, between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. You see, after age 75, the human body goes through subtle yet significant changes. Blood pressure becomes more unstable. The heart reacts more sensitively. Our ability to balance, to catch ourselves if we slip, or even to sense temperature shifts, drops sharply, especially in the early morning hours right after waking up. Standing under the shower for too long, using water that's just a little too hot, or even something as simple as showering right after taking blood pressure medication can trigger dangerous reactions in the body without us even realizing it. Why is early morning so risky? Because that's when blood pressure naturally dips. Add in blood pressure meds, then hot water, and suddenly the heart has to pump faster to keep up. But at this age, the heart isn't as responsive as it once was. Dizziness, fainting, or even a stroke can happen in just a blink. Patricia, 76, used to shower right after taking her blood pressure pills. She would often feel lightheaded, but never understood why. After talking to her doctor, she made a small change, taking her medication after breakfast and moving her shower to later in the morning. By 10:30 a.m., Patricia noticed all her symptoms had disappeared. "Just one small change, and I saved myself," she said with a smile. Health experts often refer to the time between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. as the cardiovascular danger zone. During these hours, your blood pressure naturally begins to rise to help your body wake up, but your heart may not be fully ready yet, especially if you have pre-existing health conditions. That's why the safest time to shower is between 10 a.m. and noon, when your body has stabilized, your mind is fully alert, and you've had enough to drink. Not only is it safer, but it can also leave you feeling refreshed and centered as you begin your afternoon. There's another factor that often goes unnoticed: the dim lighting in the early morning. For older adults, poor lighting in the bathroom can easily lead to disorientation. Yellow light bulbs, slippery tiles, foggy mirrors, all of these make it easier to lose your footing, harder to see small puddles, and even something as simple as bending over can turn into a serious fall. Gregory, 81, once slipped in the bathroom and spent 6 weeks in the hospital recovering. The cause? The lighting was too dim, and his eyes hadn't adjusted yet. After that, he installed motion sensor white lights and added bright-colored non-slip mats. Since then, he hasn't had a single fall. Another thing you may not realize: your body is slightly dehydrated every morning. Even though you're not active while sleeping, you still lose fluids through breathing, sweating, and metabolic processes. This can lead to a slight drop in blood pressure, especially when you get up too quickly or head straight to the bathroom without rehydrating. Leonard, 77, used to feel lightheaded almost every morning. But as soon as he started drinking a glass of warm water right after waking up, he felt a significant improvement. A simple fix, with surprisingly powerful results. And Leonard's not the only one. More and more older adults are beginning to understand the importance of listening to their bodies in the morning. Maria, age 80, was once a literature teacher. Even after retirement, she continued her early morning routine from her teaching days. Wake up at 5 a.m., shower immediately, eat breakfast by 6, then take a walk around the neighborhood. But one morning, her heart started racing. Her palms were sweaty, and she felt like she was standing on a rocking boat. After a medical checkup, the doctor told her she was dehydrated and experiencing low blood pressure from showering too early. From that day on, she changed her routine. She started drinking water right after waking, waited a little while before getting up, and only showered after 10 a.m. Just giving myself 30 extra minutes of calm makes the whole day feel more balanced and safe, she said. Maria's story gave many others pause for thought, because sometimes our rush doesn't come from our schedule. It comes from this inner pressure to keep up with who we used to be. But the truth is, we don't have to live like we used to. We just need to live in harmony with who we are today. I once met a gentleman named Harold at a senior wellness seminar. He was 85 years old, lived alone, yet radiated strength and clarity. When I asked him his secret, he answered simply, "I never rush. Every morning, I sit by the window, watch the sunlight rise, drink my water, and then I begin my day." Some people chuckled, saying that Harold's lifestyle sounded like something only someone with too much free time would do. But then Harold said something that made the entire room fall silent. "I live alone, so if I don't treat my body with kindness, who else will?" That sentence, I believe, isn't just true for those who live alone. It's true for all of us, no matter our age, no matter our circumstances. A glass of warm water in the morning, a well-lit bathroom, a chair in the shower, and one simple question: am I truly awake and ready today? These little things, they may seem small, but they can be the bridge between life and risk. You see, after 75, we don't need grand gestures to stay safe. We just need to understand the risks and love ourselves a little more each day. That's enough. Enough to live longer, happier, with more purpose. So, tell me, do you shower early in the morning? Have you ever felt dizzy or tired right after your shower? Or has a small change in your daily routine made a big difference in how you feel? Please share your story in the comments below, because sometimes one honest experience can help someone else going through the same thing. And if this video resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss future healing stories. Share this video with your loved ones, neighbors, or friends, especially those who live alone, because sometimes a small action from you can save someone's life tomorrow morning. Thank you for staying with me until the end. I'll see you in the next video, with a lighter heart and a body cared for a little better each day.